Welcome back everyone to another skill capped video. In this one, we've got you guys covered with the most broken bot lane combos that you need to be abusing for Season 11. For each combo, we'll break down why they're so strong and the win conditions to play towards in order to smash your opponents. Before we get started, we'd really appreciate it if you guys took the time to subscribe and be sure to leave a comment below to enter our RP giveaways. Let us know of your all-time favorite bot lane combo or one that you think is super good right now. There will be many more meta videos like this one released in the coming weeks, so you won't want to miss out. And with that being said, let's get into it. Let's start things off here by running down a new combo that's really sleeper OP right now. Kaisa and Rell is an absolutely nasty duo synergy due to the CC and peel Rell provides, which allows Kaisa to thrive. Kaisa gains extra stacks of her passive whenever her teammates CC an enemy, so the burst potential this combo has is really not balanced. Rell's passive reduces her enemy's magic resist and armor. Perfect for Kaisa since she deals a good mix of both physical and magic damage, therefore benefiting greatly from the effect. Level 2 and level 6 is where this synergy hits their biggest spikes, so playing around that is really key. Kaisa scales insanely well into the late game, and Rell has super good peel, so combined, their teamfight power is ridiculous. As the Rell, your main goal later on should be to sit beside Kaisa and keep any dive champions off of her. If you do this, the Kaisa player will have free reign to mow down her opponents and hard carry those fights. One of the most disgusting level 2 all-in combos in the game right now is Tristana and Maokai. If you're someone who enjoys that hyper aggro playstyle, then look no further. The amount of burst this combo can put out in an all-in scenario allows them to pummel their opponents in the 2v2 and snowball the lane out of control. Reliability is a huge pro to this synergy since Maokai's engage is a point-and-click route, and all of Tristana's damage is point-and-click as well, making it really foolproof to execute. Like we mentioned at the start, level 2 is extremely key for this combo. To execute it properly, Maokai flash W's onto the enemy and Tristana follows up by jumping in with her W and throwing her E down. Make sure to run Hail of Blades on Tristana. She'll stack her E-bomb up super fast, Maokai will throw down Ignite, and you'll have yourself first blood in no time. The craziest thing about the combo as well is that it doesn't have a weak point in the game. Both Mao and Trist scale monstrously into the late game, so when you get an advantage early on, it's basically game over. The best artillery or poke bot combo you can play for this season is Jhin and Vel'Koz. Jhin's arguably the strongest ADC in the game at the moment, and paired up with a poke support like Vel'Koz does wonders for a few different reasons. With all the poke landing early on, you'll have no problem harvesting your opponents and leaving lane with upwards of 10 Dark Harvest stacks. With Vel'Koz's long-range poke on Q, it allows for Jhin to follow up with his long-range root from W. Vel'Koz then throws down his E to knock the enemy up, and if you already have them chunked a little bit, this will turn into a kill every single time. If you've ever had the displeasure of playing against this combo, you'll know that level 6 is really where these two champs shine. Simply a Vel'Koz ult followed by a Jhin root and Jhin ultimate can 100-0 the enemy ADC from such a massive range. It's almost not even fair, and there's very little counterplay to it. Play around those ult cooldowns and be aggressive whenever they're up. Once you've won lane, transitioning around the map and looking for picks is really great because you will surprise the enemy as to how much damage you can deal from such a long range. A relatively newer combo that has insane early game all-in threat is Samira and Alistar. This one is very similar in a way to Tristana and Maokai because the level 2 all-in is just as crazy. With Alistar WQ combo followed up by Samira passive knockup, you can keep the enemy CC'd in the air for a pretty long duration, which then gives Samira the ability to dive into melee and assassinate her target. If you get a lead with this combo in the early levels, it becomes so oppressive towards level 6 as the dive threat is really unmatched. Alistar's ultimate allows him to soak up multiple tower shots, which gives Samira the ability to dash in and get a fully channeled ultimate off. It's really just the ability for this synergy to get a lead and then completely roll over their opponents that makes it so obnoxious. Level 2, Level 3, and Level 6 are all really big spikes in this lane, so look to play towards them. If you're not so into those aggro early game combos, then here's a less aggressive super scaling combo in Vayne and Seraphine. Both of these champions are two of the strongest in their respective roles at the moment, so when you pair them up, it's no surprise you'll see a ton of success. The duo has an amazing late game, but it's no secret Vayne's laning is where she struggles. Paired up with a ranged poke support like Seraphine, it really helps to alleviate Vayne's main weaknesses and transition her into that mid to late game spike much easier. The late game potential this combo has is very hard to match. With Vayne becoming a monster at 3 items and Seraphine having one of the most impactful teamfight kits in the game, they can start rolling over fights post 25 minutes. Your win condition is to go even early on in lane. If you can get past the laning phase unscathed, then it sets you up really nicely to smoothly transition into that mid game where you can dominate. A more unconventional but completely broken synergy we want to feature is Swain and Nautilus. Swain in the carry role is a pick really flying under the radar in Season 11, and it's perfect paired up with an aggressive support like Nautilus. This is another very overpowering early game combo and is one of the easiest to execute in the entire video. Hit that level 2 before the opponent and run right at them. You have a total of 5 CC abilities at level 2, which makes your all-in really unfair. Nautilus hook and passive route into Swain root and pull, followed by Nautilus slow, will allow you to 100-0 the enemy before they're even able to flinch. Level 6 with the combo is unbeatable in the 2v2. Most games you'll even be able to 2v3 when the enemy jungler makes the mistake of visiting your lane, as long as you have both your ultimates available. Swain can just tank so much damage with his ult running, all while draining the enemy's HP bar, and eventually giving them all a nice gray screen. Our second really strong scaling combo we need to feature is Twitch with Lulu. This one has always been a classic, and in Season 11, it's still a top-tier synergy to run. With the recent buffs to Runaan's Hurricane, it allows the combo to come online even sooner and start taking over those mid-game fights. The rise of Gale Force on Twitch makes the combo even more reliable later on. You now have the ability to dash away from those dive champions, and if they do manage to get on top of you, then Lulu will be right there to give you that added peel. It just adds another layer to how strong their late game can be, which will lead to a lot more consistent success. Even early on, if you can sniff out the enemy and be ready to execute on some cheese, you can get yourself a couple kills. If you notice the enemy ADC just farming the wave alone, then Twitch can go into stealth, Lulu pops her W and E onto him, and Twitch will win that 1v1 all day. As long as you don't hard run it down early game, then you will outscale most other bot lane combos and be very difficult to deal with for the enemy team as the game progresses. Bouncing back to another hyper aggro kill lane, we have Draven and Thresh. One hook, one kill is the name of the game for this combo. With Draven players running Hail of Blades these days as their keystone, it makes early all-in situations that much better. If you have 2 axes spinning, then the amount of upfront burst you can deal when Thresh hits a hook will almost always guarantee you a kill. Like many of the other synergies, the level 2 is once again super key for this combo. To pull it off properly, Thresh will want to flash Flay onto the enemy ADC, follow up with his hook, and if all that lands, Draven will have enough time to get multiple axes worth of damage off to finish the kill. When ahead, a good Draven has the ability to 1v2 in a lot of matchups. With Thresh by his side, having a lantern to check out for him, Draven can always play extremely aggro in lane, even without jungle knowledge, and this allows for you to keep up constant pressure. When played to its limits, this combo is arguably the strongest of any in this video, so it's one that's well worth putting the time into. The ultimate pick-or-catch combo is Ashe with Bard. If you're tired of not having any tools to engage and find yourself relying on your monkey teammates to lead the way, then this combo is for you. It's so much easier for Ashe and Bard to take control of games and really snowball an advantage more so than any other combo due to both their ultimate abilities. Not only is their pick threat insane, but Ashe really helps to enable Bard in looking for early roam plays. She's a safe ADC who can sit back and farm from range with W, while Bard is off grabbing a free kill on that overextended Yasuo. The AoE on Ashe W allows for her to get priority early on and shove waves in, which leads to Bard being able to look for those roam plays way more often. Once you hit level 6, both champs can look to roam towards mid for free picks on the enemy mid laner. The win condition for this combo lies in playing around those ult cooldowns, controlling vision before objectives spawn, and finding picks when the enemy is caught out alone. Being proactive and pulling the trigger is key to your success on Ashe and Bard. And then the 10th and final combo we have for you guys is Mistfortune and Leona. This is another classic we just had to have in this video due to the raw amount of carry potential they possess when played correctly. With the new Comet tech on MF, you can start E level 1 and get some nice poke off on the enemy. This helps to soften them up for that level 2 all-in. As soon as you hit level 2, you can play it almost identical to the Thresh Draven lane. Leona can flash in to guarantee the point-and-click stun from her Q, and then follow up with E while the enemy is stunned to ensure it hits. Meanwhile, Mistfortune will give you some nice stacking power with her E and use her Q as an auto reset to get a bunch of burst damage off. At level 6, the all-in is the most deadly for any combo in the game. If Leona hits any CC ability, she chains it with the rest of her CC, and Mistfortune rains down with a fully channeled ultimate. Glaring weaknesses just don't exist with this synergy, as their teamfight in the mid to late game is just as strong as their early game. look to pick up MF Leona if you want a pretty simple yet effective duo. So there you have it, the 10 best bot lane combos you should be abusing for Freelo to start off Season 11. To stay up to date with all our future content, we'd love it if you took the time to subscribe and turn on those notifications. There will be so much more content like this rolling out in the next few weeks, so you definitely don't want to miss out. Thanks so much for watching, and we can't wait to see all you back here for the next one.